Hi, this is George Alger, and welcome to another segment of Our Ventura TV. Today I'm speaking with John Styn, who is a longtime participant of Burning Man. Welcome, John.
Thank you so much.
So Burning Man has been around for a long time. Actually, is it 20 years?
A little bit more, but yeah.
Okay. And but for viewers who've never heard of it or don't know anything about it, what is Burning Man?
That is a big question. It's hard to understand until you've been there, but I'm going to try. It's a lot of people see it as a music festival, or they think of it as a rave. It's some of the reputations it gets, but it's a city. It's a temporary city that's built in the middle of the desert every year, and about 50,000 people show up and just build the city out of nothing, and then when the week's over, they take it all down. And it becomes a mecca for artists and creatives and people from all over the world where they can kind of come and express their art in a way that is transformative.
Cool. Now, there's a concept that I've heard of through Burning Man called gifting. Could you speak about that?
Absolutely. And this is, when people hear about Burning Man or they see the pictures, it's very easy to be distracted by fire and bright colors and naked people and incredibly huge, big art. But there's things that happen behind the scenes that are more subtle at first but can be profound, and gifting is one of those things. Burning Man has a series of 10 principles that govern it, and things like radical self-expression, radical self-reliance, leave no trace. And one of them is gifting, and that means that there is no commerce there. There is nothing bought or sold except for coffee and ice. And it took me a long time to figure out what that meant. Initially, I thought that meant barter. And so I thought, I'll come and I'll bring things to trade with other people. But barter is still a lot like our traditional commerce system, where you exchange equal things for equal things. If I have corn, you have goods, and we both feel pretty good. It's +1 - 1 equals sum is 0. But gifting is more like Christmas morning, when you give something to a little kid and they open it up and they're all excited, and then you get to see their excitement and you get excited. So it's +1 + 1, and that's radically different. And that's what happens in the desert, is everyone starts going around trying to do nice things for each other, trying to make everyone else's experience better. And it is so different than what we're used to that it's very hard. My first few years there, people would be like, "Hey, are you hungry?" And I was like, "No, thank you. I don't want to owe you. I don't want to have to do your dishes. I don't want to have to be nice to you. But gifting means there's nothing expected. It's truly just, I want you to be happier, and in making you happier, it will make me happier."
Wow. Has it been that way from the beginning?
Interesting. No, not really. Initially, it was just there wasn't principles that governed it. It was just a place, a temporary autonomous zone where people could just do whatever they want. And over time, the irony of this anarchy state was that they started to have to put rules on it because it just got too big and got too dangerous. And so it was in that process of kind of figuring out what were the rules that were bubbling up from the community that they decided, well, let's make gifting into one of those principles. But initially, no. In fact, some of the old timers go, "Why do we have to do this gifting? I want to be," and then I have to go, "Hey, man."
Wow, okay. So it's been an evolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, is there a founder of Burning Man?
There is a gentleman named Larry Harvey that is considered the one who brought the first man to the beach to burn. But the organization that runs it is pretty key on explaining that there is an organization that organizes things and establishes the city and the streets and where the porta potties are going to go, and contracts with the porta potty company and contracts with the local governments and does the permits. But the event itself is participant driven. The tickets themselves say no spectators, participants only, which means you're not supposed to go and just check it out. You go to help make it what it is. So all the streets are all filled in by whatever people want to bring. So the founder says, "Here's where we're going to do it," and then everyone else says, "This is what we're going to do."
Wow. Is it done in different places?
No, initially it's gone to a few locations, but since I've been going for 16 years, it's always been in the Black Rock Desert, about 3 hours outside of Reno in Nevada.
Okay. So speak about the actual Burning Man effigy or sculpture or whatever it is that correctly defines it.
So the center of the city is made in like a horseshoe shape, and in the center is this huge wooden man. I think it's 40, 50 feet, something like that. And you can climb up in it, and at the end of the week, they burn it. And it's one of those things as well where it's easy to focus on that as a symbol of this event, but I think it only is a beacon and a center point and a map point for the city, but it really becomes secondary. It's all the interactions. But at the end of the week, when they do burn this thing, it is crazy. There's 50,000 people all around this huge wooden thing that's burning and falling, and it is a high energy tribal. I actually now, for the years I would go up to it and scream along with everyone else. Now I go way on the outskirts and go, I can see fine from here.